Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us.
Hope is a life free of violence.
Hope is the peace of mind that they are safe and loved.
That is why I support the Family Justice Center.
Because a family free of violence is a community free of violence.
Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us. Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us. it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us.
Hope is a life free of violence.
Hope is the peace of mind that they are safe and loved.
That is why I support the Family Justice Center.
Because a family free of violence is a community free of violence.
Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us. Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us. it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us.
Hope is a life free of violence.
Hope is the peace of mind that they are safe and loved.
That is why I support the Family Justice Center.
Because a family free of violence is a community free of violence.
Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us. Hi, it's Faith Whitmore. We're so looking forward to our gala, our celebration of hope on November 20th, and we hope that you'll join us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th annual Celebration of Hope. We're virtual.
Everything is different in 2020.
We're so grateful you're here tonight in support of Sacramento Family Justice Center. We see so much love in the YouTube chat bar already.
I know we've got a lot of action and so excited for everyone to be able to join us in the only way we can right now, which is, you know what, in the comfort of your own home, which is wonderful.
Right. Folks, my name's Freddie Silvera with FSA Auctions.
And I'm Katie Christensen Hunter, and I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight on behalf of the Family Justice Center and those who we serve. It is so important that we have the support of all of you and help us continue to make some change in this community.
Folks, tonight is a night of hope, and we celebrate so much hope tonight. We see so much love in the chat bar, folks. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to join us in the chat bar, we'd love to hear, how are you connected to Sacramento Family Justice Center? We'd love to hear if you're a board member, a sponsor, a friend, a community, a staff member. We'd love to hear what Sacramento Family Justice Center means to you. Folks, we have an amazing program lined up for you. We're going to hear from some amazing speakers.
Absolutely, and we have a great program this evening, and we're going to honor some very important people in our community and important to the Family Justice Center. And so sit back, relax, open your bottle of wine, and enjoy.
Folks, and thank you so very much for joining us this evening. It's a true pleasure that we already share with you the support from our community. Katie, we're almost to $20,000 in tonight's Fund a Need.
Which is amazing, because when we got here, it was already ticking up and it just continues to go. And now we're officially kicking it off. So let's see what we can do in the next hour.
So folks, we've got an amazing program lined up for you. In just a second, we're going to hear from Jan Scully-Royce, our board director. And then we're going to have amazing videos this evening. We're going to hear from Faith. We're going to hear from an amazing survivor who, for confidentiality, we'll call Sharon. And we've got an amazing Fund a Need to come, followed by some amazing awards that we are going to honor tonight. So folks, just to help you with tonight's program, there is a QR code. If we want to socially distance, there's a QR code right up here somewhere. We've got a green screen, folks. So there's a QR code right up here.
Somewhere.
If you want to pull out your phone now and put it over the QR code, that'll take you directly to our fundraising link. It's right up there. Folks, the link as well is in right below, and that's the sacrfjc4432.ggo.bid. On the screen here now, you'll see some tech tips on how to participate in this evening. We'd encourage 2 devices, your laptop or smart TV, to watch the live stream. I know this is a lot of stuff, Katie.
Hey, it's important. This is important.
We've got to get the important stuff out. So we've got 2 devices. You can also do 1 device if you'd like, if that's easier for you. We've got different ways for you to give tonight. If you go to the link sacrfjc4432.ggo.bid, if you register by clicking Get Started in the upper corner, then create an account, fill out your credit card information, and you'll be able to participate in tonight's Fund a Need. Oh, that was a mouthful.
And they make it really easy, actually, because before we even started, I got a text message on my phone that allows you to go and donate money, as well as if you have any tech issues, you can use the same link. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. Let us know if there's any problems.
So folks, you've got tech support lines as well. You can call our tech support number. Let me read that to you briefly. Our tech support number is 916-827-0542. You'll find that in the chat bar as well. You can also send your live photos to Daniel. Yes, live photos you can send to Daniel. We'll show some of those shortly. At 916-296-5897. I know I read that so fast you probably didn't remember it, but it's on the screen and we'll put it in the chat bar. Folks, so much love. We want to share with you that our Fund a Need tonight will close Monday, November 23rd at 5 p.m. And without further ado, folks, it's a true pleasure we get our evening started. Should be great. Folks, we see your love in the YouTube chat bar. We've got so much amazing folks here. Faith coming in saying, Anne Marie, we love you. Robert Nelson, Jody Nelson, Jan Scully-Royce, Sherry Meyer, Nancy. There's so much love in the chat bar. Folks, without further ado, it is a true pleasure that we introduce Jan Scully-Royce to start us off this evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the Sacramento Regional Family Justice Center's 5th Annual Celebration of Hope. We are so grateful you have joined us here this evening. For the last 4 years, the FJC has hosted our annual Celebration of Hope Gala. Each year, we welcome 300 to 400 in the Sacramento State Ballroom to celebrate and acknowledge the accomplishments of the Family Justice Center. As you can see, our event looks a bit different this year, but our tradition of bringing friends, family, and our community together remains. I'd like to take a moment to introduce our board members this evening. Jody Nelson of Sac State University, Paul Dernberger, retired, Sacramento County District Attorney's Office, Eric Guerra, City Council Member, Sacramento, Tom Johnson, Law Office of Tom Johnson, Kevin Smith, Kaiser Permanente, Elena Ruiz, Way to Win, Robin Carter, Sacramento State University, Brian Gladden, Strategy and Innovation Institute, Jane Einhorn Communications, Katie Hunter, Sacramento Kings, Devin Johnson, Dignity Health. I'd also like to recognize our directors emeritus for their continued commitment to the FJC. Roger Valine, Kyriakos Zakopoulos, Vic Bucher, Estelle Salzman, and Fred Baldini. Thank you to each of you for all you have done and continue to do for the Family Justice Center and our community. Sacramento is a better place because of your hard work and dedication. I'd also like to thank our sponsors and supporters. This gala is our primary fundraiser for the year and accounts for a large portion of our budget. This annual celebration of hope allows us to pay rent, keep the lights on, and ultimately provide hope and support to victims in our community. Our work would not be possible without your support, and only because of your support have we been able to keep our doors open during the pandemic and help combat the drastic surge in domestic violence in our community. On behalf of the Board of Directors, the Family Justice Center staff, and the victims we serve, thank you for your support. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to place unexpected burdens on our community. This is especially true for victims of family violence. It has been widely reported that since the stay-at-home orders have been implemented, that domestic violence has significantly surged in our community. Because of this surge and the increased need for services, our CEO, Faith Whitmore, and her staff made the decision to remain open throughout the pandemic. The entire FJC staff has worked nonstop without the help of our on-site partners, interns, or volunteers. Even with our full staff working long hours and sacrificing their own well-being to meet the needs of victims who have nowhere else to turn, they are still barely meeting the demand of the Sacramento community. The reality, since the beginning of the pandemic, victims needing our support and services has nearly doubled compared to 2019. This is because we physically kept our doors open and have been providing support and services to victims in person and face-to-face, when other similar programs went only virtual. In fact, the FJC has become the go-to one-stop center we dreamed of becoming. There can be no doubt our FJC staff are truly pandemic heroes. We have an incredibly moving and impactful program planned for you this evening. This year, we are pleased to honor Jody and Robert Nelson of Sacramento State for their unwavering commitment to victims of family violence in our community. We are also honoring Raley's with this year's Community Partner Award for their commitment to providing domestic violence resources to our community. As we approach Thanksgiving and expressing gratitude with all we have been blessed with, I hope you all will help the Family Justice Center continue to be the place where hope thrives. And if families can be free from violence, so too will our community. Thank you for tuning in this evening, and thank you for supporting our Family Justice Center.
Folks, yes, Jan says it best when we talk about a community free of violence.
And that's really what makes the difference. So it starts in your homes with your families. And it's really important. We kind of talked about this before this started. You never really know what someone who is going through domestic violence or family violence looks like. And so I think it's important to really kind of keep that in mind tonight, is that you just don't know who could be going through this. So we are helping a great deal of people.
Jan, thank you very much for your brief, inspiring remarks. And folks, we see so much love in the YouTube chat bar. You have been so amazing, showing so much love this evening. We see all the love for Jan here. We've got Mark Hendricks, Julian Michael Teal, Faith Whitmore, Lisa Cardoza.
A little love from Blaine to his mom, which is very sweet to see. And yes, we saw, Blaine, that you also made a donation earlier. So I think your mom would very much appreciate the support.
Thanks, Blaine. Folks, we appreciate you tonight, and there's so many people for us to thank this evening, and we want to get started this evening as we thank everybody that made tonight possible, and it starts with our amazing sponsors. Folks, on the screen here now, you're going to start to see our amazing sponsors. We want to get started off, folks, and share a lot of love. In the YouTube chat bar, show as much love as you can for all of our sponsors, our board of directors, directors emeritus, and staff. Folks, we're going to get started with our $25,000 sponsors coming in a huge way. Motel 6 with our local ownership, Harshad, Yogi, Mike, Henry, and Rakesh. Thank you very much, Motel 6. You're making a huge difference for Sacramento Family Justice Center. And Pacific Coast Building Projects, longtime supporters in our community. So grateful for being with us tonight.
And as for our $10,000 sponsors, we have a few: California State University Office of the President, Sacramento County District Attorney, Sacramento County Supervisor Susan Peters. Amazing. Thank you so much for your support.
And at our $5,000 level, some amazing, amazing supporters. Buzz Oates, such amazing community philanthropists. Dignity Health with Devin Johnson and the Dignity Health team. The Honorable Majorie and Paul Durenberger, our board vice chair, founders of FJC. Kevin Nagel, an amazing supporter in our community. Jan Scully Royce and Brian Royce, our board chair since the inception. Sacramento County Sheriff, longtime supporters. And Mary and Roger Valine, former board member and CEO of VSP.
And then what are we going to do next?
And we want to thank all of our sponsors this evening. And our $2,500 level sponsors, we want to thank all of them that you'll see on the screen here now, making a huge difference for us.
Oh, so many to mention, and I think it's very important that we do. Are you going to do the 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bowton Jones, California Nevada Credit Union Leagues, California North State University, California State University Sacramento College of Health and Human Services, California State University Sacramento Division of Criminal Justice Center for African Peace and Conflict Resolution, Citrus Heights Police Department, Elk Grove Police Department, Folsom Police Department, Holt of California, Leslie and Ken, George and Carolyn, Kaiser Permanente, Jody and Robert Nelson, Mary and Roger Nilo, Norgid Farms, Park West Casinos, Sacramento Association of Realtors, and Katie, I'm not done yet! Sacramento County Attorneys Association, Sacramento County Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services, Sacramento County Probation Association, Sacramento County Supervisor Sue Frost, thank you, Estelle Saltzman, Safe Credit Union, Shaw Law Group, SMUD, Sutter Health, UC Davis Health, yes, Verizon, Vic Butcher, VSP, Wells Fargo, Faith Whitmore. Folks, that's a lot of love for Sacramento Family Justice Center.
And they all deserve to be mentioned by name. And while you take a breath here and recover from that ordeal, I'm going to mention a few of our $1,000 donations. Mel Rapton Honda, McCooney, Tara McCooney's a very dear friend of mine, very supportive. Thank you so much. Sacramento County Supervisor Patrick Kennedy. Woo! Mouthful, right? Like I did 3 and it was difficult for me.
Folks, there's so many people that make such a huge difference for Sacramento Family Justice Center, and it is without full respect that we share as much love as we can to every single person that makes tonight possible. And our board of directors, let's give a lot of love for our board of directors in the YouTube chat bar, starting off with Jan Scully Royce, Paul Durenberger. Big shout out to Paul Durenberger. I know you're watching. A lot of love. One of my dear, dear friends, and I'm grateful for you, Paul. Jody Nelson, Dr. Robin Carter, Katie Christian. That's you.
Hey, that's
that's you. Katie Christian Hunter, Jane Einhorn, Dr. Brian Gladden, Eric Guerrera, Devin Johnson, Tom Johnson, Tamara McIntosh, Elena Ruiz, and Kevin Smith.
And some love for our directors emeritus, Fred Baldini, Vic Butcher, Estelle Saltzman, Kyriakis. My very Greek friend is going to be very upset at me. Sakopoulos, Roger Valine, and Mark Van Beest, of course.
And folks, we wanted to give a big shout out to Mark Van Beest. In our video earlier, we didn't get a chance to say his name, Mark Van Beest, because he was recognized in that position after we had already made the video. So Mark Van Beest, a lot of love to you, and thank you to all of our directors of emeritus and our staff. Folks, this is the heartbeat of Sacramento Family Justice Center, our staff making tirelessly, and what you'll learn more about tonight is the staff. Sacramento Family Justice Center was one of the only agencies supporting domestic violence that has stayed open during COVID.
During this pandemic, they have really showed up and absolutely been the heroes of this, because there have been an astronomical amount of people in need because of the pandemic, and our doors have remained open and could not do it without these people.
And folks, we want to recognize our staff. Let's give a lot of love for all of our staff. From Faith, Joyce, Daniel, Laura, Colleen, Isella, Dawn, Patty, Colleen, Marine, Yolanda, DJ, Terry, David, Victoria, and Susan. Folks, thank you very much for all of the love. We see all of the love in the YouTube chat bar. And without further ado, Katie, if you want to introduce us to our next speaker this evening.
Our next speaker this evening, let me make sure I know exactly where we are. Oh, this is going to be our survivor story. It is very, very important that we hear from some of the people that are able to be impacted and have their lives changed by the services that the Family Justice Center provides. So I think it's best to let Sharon speak for her own experience.
It was near a dumpster in a parking lot that Sharon first realized she was in trouble.
He forced me into a dumpster in Sacramento, like in the apartment parking lot. So whether there were cameras on or people around, he didn't care. He pushed me in and didn't want to help me out to retrieve something in there. That should have been the time to leave, but you know, sometime after that, he promised he would never do that again.
Almost a decade together, children, and an idea of what a marriage was supposed to be.
Everyone says that marriages are hard, so I kept thinking like this is what it means. When someone apologizes, you'd like to believe them and trust that they are going to be better the next time. And then it's only until you start to realize there's a cycle going on, you know.
It didn't get better, but Sharon found the Family Justice Center even before she found a way out.
Sorry if I get emotional, but what they really helped me with was, because I had not then left yet, so they helped me create a plan to do that, like in a safe way. Sorry. And that was so valuable, because at that time I couldn't even think straight, you know. Everything that I had known up to that point was just tossed upside down.
And the Family Justice Center helped Sharon with more than a way out. It helped her craft a way forward.
Everyone there has a story too, so it's not like, you know, I'm the odd one out. It's really helpful to be surrounded by people who can comfort you and really understand you.
And Sharon's ongoing relationship with the Family Justice Center has given her an understanding she will carry into any new relationship.
Your family and friends love you, and they would never do something to sabotage like a healthy relationship if they were happy for you and it was totally healthy. So if they bring up concerns, that should really make you think more about it. Looking back on that now, I think that was so important to understand. And having gone through this, I know 100%, you know, in the future, if someone brings a concern to me, like it's because they recognize something isn't right and it's not healthy.
A new life, a new job, a new start for Sharon and her children.
Great, really thriving. It's really nice to be able to provide an environment where no one's yelling anymore. Something as simple as that, it is just so peaceful and loving.
Wow. Folks, there is so much love for Sharon and the YouTube chat bar. Folks, and Sharon, thank you from the bottom of both of our hearts for being able to have the courage to share your story with us. Thank you very much. And Christina Mendonza, she says it best, a new life, a new job, a new start. And I just can't even imagine, what that would be like to just be able to provide a safe place where nobody's yelling anymore.
You know, a place of peace. I think that that is an important thing to keep in mind. And I have so much respect for Sharon, because it is incredibly difficult as a survivor to tell your story and share what you have been through. And I think it's very much a process, because I can speak from personal experience. I myself am a survivor, and my husband lost his sister. And so what he and his mother go through and their family after losing Joanna, it's a very difficult, long healing process to get through. And so I think it's very, very important to hear from the people that experience this in their lives. And I think Faith is the perfect person to kind of talk about kind of what is important with the Family Justice Center, our CEO. We'll hear a word from Faith right now.
On behalf of those whom we serve, who never imagined needing our help, our board of directors and our staff, thank you all so much for joining us for our 5th annual Celebration of Hope. I'm Faith Whitmore, CEO of this impactful nonprofit, and this is Buddy, our service dog, who is perhaps the most beloved member of our staff. I'm sure we'd all agree that this past year, and especially these past months, have been like no other. We were looking forward to seeing you all in person, to catch up, to share some good wine and some good food at CSUS, which has been such a strong and supportive partner to the Family Justice Center. But COVID-19 has changed our lives in so many ways. For many victims of domestic violence and elder abuse, COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on their lives. The pandemic restrictions that have caused sheltering in place with partners who were already abusive have ignited tensions in the home. The danger of contracting COVID has meant many victims have no place to escape. While before they may have been able to flee to family and friends' homes, that is no longer a safe option for anyone. The shelters are full. It's been a nightmare, and as you'll hear later this hour, the number of victims seeking services at the Family Justice Center have increased literally 100% this year over 2019. We made the decision early on to remain open for in-person services, and we've remained open without restrictions, the only agency in our region to do so. Many of our wonderful partner agencies determined it best to offer virtual services. The family court needed to close for everything except filing restraining orders. More recently, they've opened for domestic violence trials. Therefore, their workshops and all self-help services have not been available to victims at the courthouse. Because of all that, our Family Justice Center has received an inordinate amount of referrals, but I'm grateful to say that we've been able to handle all of them, even with a very small core staff, because our volunteers and interns could no longer come in. I want to give a shout out to our amazing staff who put in very long hours and continue to do so. They've postponed vacations and they've put their own health at risk to assist those in dire need. I know I can speak for all of us when I share with you why we're so passionate and committed to the work that we do. No one enters a relationship imagining they will be abused or that someday their own lives will be threatened by someone they once loved. Elderly parents never could have imagined that mental illness or drug or alcohol addiction would render their children strangers and threaten their very safety in their own homes. But it happens, and it happens all too frequently. It happened to me many years ago. I've often said that everyone knows somebody, whether you realize it or not, who has been a victim of abuse. So often it's a shame-filled secret because the victim is blamed. Why didn't she just leave? It's just not that simple for 1,000 reasons. I think the better question we should ask is why doesn't he just stop abusing? And to be clear, it's not only women who are abused, sometimes it's the other way around. We're passionate about this work because we see victims enter our doors in despair, they're fearful and hopeless, but after meeting with case managers, victim advocates, and our attorneys, they leave with a safety plan and courage to see it through. They see light at the end of the tunnel. They leave with hope, hope that their children will be safe, hope they actually have a violence-free future ahead, relief because they no longer have to keep secrets and explain away the bruises. We're passionate and we're committed to this work because we know that we are helping to break the cycle of family violence. This work is a privilege and it's a blessing, but we couldn't do it without the support of the community, people like you who care so deeply as much as we do. And so I want to thank you for joining us this evening. I want to thank our community partners because without them, we couldn't do what we do. We do this together in collaboration. Our partners include My Sister's House, Adult Protective Services, Child Protective Services, WEAVE, Women Escaping a Violent Environment, the District Attorney and her office, all the law enforcement agencies in the region, the Safe Center that is co-located with us, the hospital systems, Dignity, Kaiser, Sutter, UC Davis Med Center, WellSpace, City of Refuge and Community Against Sexual Harm, of course, Rayleigh's, and so many others who are listed in your programs. So thank you again. Thank you for investing in the lives of children who so often are the collateral damage in these situations and giving them a brighter future. Thank you for helping vulnerable elder abuse victims who deserve peace and safety in their own homes. Thank you for your time and generosity this evening. And thank you for supporting and trusting us in the work that we do. And on behalf of all women, men, and children who are scared and often broken, but bravely walk through our doors for the very first time, determined to change their lives, thank you so much for caring.
There is so much that makes the Family Justice Center just such an important part of this community and so special, starting with Faith at the top, but also because of all the people that we see on the chat bar, people that are donating their time and their money to really make a difference in this community. But I think the most important thing, and I think Faith lays it out very well, is that this is a place where someone in their worst moment can go and get help no matter what it is. You don't have to run around to a bunch of different places. They really try to make it where you can come to them and they will walk you through the most horrible process that you're probably going to go through in your life. So have to applaud Faith and her leadership and what she has been able to do at the Justice Center. It's amazing.
Faith, thank you. Thank you, and thank you to the entire staff and everybody that is able to make a huge difference, especially in this time. You know, as Faith shared, we've seen over 100% increase and of domestic violence. And we've also heard tonight that Sacramento Family Justice Center was one of the only agencies that's been able to stay in person to help those. And I can only imagine right now with the pandemic, I can only imagine people being at home more often and what's going on behind closed doors.
You know, it's interesting because being on the board, we are able to get a lot of very detailed stats. And at our recent board meeting, since March when COVID hit and the stay-at-home orders, specifically, strangulations were up 168%. This is just showing you that this pandemic has created a need for families that are having issues with family violence. And luckily, because of people that are joining us tonight and giving of their time and their money and volunteering, we are able to help people in their worst moments. So it's just amazing what they have been able to do through a very strange year with a pandemic going on across the entire world.
And as Katie shared, folks, there has been so much generosity tonight. And in just a second, we're going to get started with tonight's Fund a Need. So now's an opportunity for you to go to that link at sacrfjc4432.ggo.bid. The link below, find the Donate Now for our Fund a Need. We're going to hear from a few community supporters that have to share with you about what Voices of Hope means to them. Please enjoy.
I know someone.
I know someone.
I know someone.
I know someone.
We all know someone who's been a victim of domestic violence.
Domestic violence is not a personal problem.
Domestic violence is not silent.
Domestic violence is not
a woman's issue.
Domestic violence is a community-wide problem.
Unfortunately, During the pandemic,
Domestic violence has surged.
It is because of this surge, the Family Justice Center has remained open.
They have nearly tripled the number of temporary restraining orders filed by their attorneys.
They are compassionate and committed to making our community safer.
They have experienced a 100% increase in the number of victims served.
They are still barely meeting the demands of the Sacramento County community.
Sacramento needs the Family Justice Center.
But today, the Family Justice Center
Needs us.
Tonight's event provides
critical funds.
More than anything, your support today
Will provide hope.
Hope is a life free of violence.
hope is the peace of mind that they are safe and loved.
Hope is a brighter future for their children.
That is why I support the Family Justice Center.
I'm supporting the Family Justice Center.
I'm supporting the Family Justice Center.
And I hope that you will support them as well.
Because a family free of violence is a community free of violence.
Yes, folks, we heard from all of our voices of hope tonight. A family free of violence is a community free of violence. Now is an opportunity for us to come together in a huge way and make a huge difference for Sacramento Family Justice Center as they move forward for the next year. So folks, what I would encourage you to do is start to find the Fund a Need button now. We're going to get started with our Fund a Need now. We've already got over $22,000 from gifts that have been coming in throughout our evening. Folks, your generosity tonight is so appreciative. I can see in the chat bar, I can see so much love. Everybody's been sharing. Faith Whitmore's been sharing. Joyce and Ernest and Robert Nelson and Dorothy Love. Folks, now is an opportunity for us to come together and make a huge difference for Sacramento Family Justice Center. Now, I want to share with you what your dollar can do this evening. I want to share with you that at $25,000, that could fund caseworkers on site for the growing demand of services in our region. Folks, I'd encourage you to start to come in at any level that is a meaningful gift for you and your family. I would like to share with you that at $15,000, that could fund essential services that will help support the domestic violence of in-person that we've been experiencing over the last 9 months. At $10,000, that would fund a very urgent need of victims needing legal help. Now we can start to imagine restraining orders. We can start to imagine a lot of different things that are going to be able to be helped with that amount of money. I want to share with you that at $5,000, every $5,000 can come together and support caseworkers in a huge way, our case managers. And folks, I'm also delighted to share with you that $5,000 would fund Feeding Buddy for an entire year. So every $5,000 was going to feed Buddy for an entire year. And when we saw Buddy, and we saw a lot of love for Buddy, our service dog. Folks, at $2,500, that could fund the Pandemic Emergency Shelter. So folks, understanding that at $2,500, that could fund an emergency shelter that would be greatly needed. I heard a story from Faith. She shared with me a story that recently happened during COVID about needing a shelter for a woman who, for confidentiality, we'll call Mary. And she was able to find shelter to escape from her husband, who was a well-known dignitary within the California area, and she was able to find peace in a shelter. So $2,500 would make a huge difference tonight. Folks, I want to share with you that $1,000, that would help combat domestic violence with the increased rise that we've seen, that it's almost doubled currently. $500 would send and give a chance for a kid to go to Camp Hope. And Paul Durenberger, as I shared earlier with you, about 4 years ago, brought me involved with Sacramento Family Justice Center. And Paul and I got a chance to go with him. We volunteered together at Camp Hope. I had an opportunity to see our young people and our young children that were able to go to Camp Hope and make a huge difference in their lives, to inspire hope and to just give them a role model with us together. So folks, I want to share with you that your dollar tonight can make a huge difference. So I'd encourage you to start to come in at any dollar amount that you like. We're going to start at $25,000 or more, knowing that at $25,000, that could fund our case workers as we go through to the next year. So I'm wondering if there's anybody tonight on, yes, 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 yes. Thank you very much, folks. Yes. We've got Brianne Christakopoulos. Thank you at $25,000, folks. Let's get the love in the YouTube chat bar going, folks. Yes, we're over 47,000. Katie's giving us a woohoo in the chat bar. Yes, Katie's back here, woohoo. Folks, we've got gifts coming in. I'm wondering if anybody else tonight wants to come in and make a huge difference at $25,000 or more. You can make a dramatic difference tonight for Sacramento Family Justice Center as we support caseworkers and be able to pay the rent, be able to support the services that Faith and the entire staff are doing throughout the rest of the year. I'm wondering if there's anybody else tonight that wants to come in a huge way. Thank you to the Scopulus. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we've got so many folks coming in. Yes, the love in the chat bar, folks. Yes, $15,000. Michael and Julie Teal, thank you very much to the Teals. We appreciate you and all of your generosity that you've been helping us in our community for so many years. Thank you. Folks, we've got love in the chat bar. Jan Scully Royce, yes, they hit the send button. We appreciate it. Thank you. Joyce, thank you, amazing. Lisa Cardoza, Dr. Cardoza with Sac State. Wow, this is wonderful. Folks, love in the chat bar. I'm wondering if there's anybody else tonight that would like to come in a huge way at $10,000 or more. Folks, knowing that every $2,500 at $10,000 could fund 4 emergency shelters, folks. I'm wondering if there's anybody who wants to come in at $10,000 or more, or maybe at $5,000, folks. Yes, we've got $10,000. Dr. Christy Rollifson Porino, thank you very much, folks. $10,000. Yes, Katie. Folks, the love is coming in. Katie is giving us a woo. We're at $72,000, folks. Folks, we've got some generous donors coming in a huge way. I'm wondering if there's anybody else tonight that would want to come in at any dollar amount, $10,000 or more. How about $5,000, folks? $5,000 would make a dramatic difference. I already saw earlier, Kevin Nagel, thank you very much for your generosity, making a huge difference for us tonight. Yes, Jody and Dr. Robert Nelson, thank you. With Sac State, that's another $5,000. Yes, Vic Butcher at $5,000, $100 from Chief Ronald Lawrence. Thank you, folks. You're making a huge difference. We're on our way to clearing $100,000, folks. Anybody else wants to come in at $5,000 or more? Folks, you're making a huge difference. Yes, we've got gifts coming in now at $3,000. Folks, you can come in at any level that you'd like now. Any level, $3,000, $2,000, $1,000. Remember that every $2,500 can fund a shelter. Every $500 can fund one child to be able to go to Camp Hope. Folks, your dollars tonight can make a huge difference. Yes, folks. Yes, yes, yes. Folks, we're on our way to clearing $100,000, folks, for Sacramento Family Justice Center. Yes, folks. Yes, yes. Thank you. We've got Carolyn and George Kammerer. Thank you. We've got Shaw Law Group at $2,500. We've got $250 from Rhonda Staley Brooks. Rhonda, thank you. $2,500, Councilmember Eric Herrera. Thank you. $1,000, Robin Baldini, Sacramento City. Yes, $1,000, Pam and Stan Stewart. Thank you. Folks, we're on our way to clearing $100,000. Katie, come here. Katie, come here. Katie, come here. Katie. We've got McCooney's coming in at $1,000. We've got $200 from Tim Murphy. Check this out.
Oh my goodness, it's really, okay, you are way too good at this. Okay?
No.
All right, Daniel, we see you coming in at $1,000 too. That is amazing.
Folks, we're on our way to clearing $100,000, folks. Yes, Deidre and Peter Zimmerman, Patrice Coyle at $1,000, Zachary Yates at $500. Folks, in the chat bar, yes, Jane Einhorn in the chat bar said, I will donate $1,000. Folks, thank you. Thank you. Katie, look at this.
I know. It's just going to keep going, and we still have a lot more time. So let's keep it rolling, you guys. Keep it rolling. You're doing a lot of good here.
Nancy and Fred Tigert at $1,000, making a huge difference for us, folks. Yes!
Oh,
yes! Yes!
5,000 more. We're over the $100,000 mark.
Thank you. Thank you. Ryan and Candace Lucetti at $5,000. Marilyn Shuri at $500. Tom
Johnson coming in at $1,000. Woo!
Wow, folks, we're over $105,000.
Jan Oh my goodness, Jan getting in on it. $1,000 more from Jan. Wow, you guys, this is amazing. Keep it going. This is doing a lot of
Folks,
good.
you're making a huge difference tonight. Jan Scully Royce, Tom Johnson at $1,000. Folks, I'm wondering who else wants to come in. Yes, 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 yes. Mr. Keith Knopf, Mr. Keith Knopf, Mr. Keith Knopf at $2,500. You just fundraised for another shelter, making a huge difference tonight at $2,500, $1,000. Patrick Cannon, thank you, folks. We're over $110,000. Yes. Joyce in the chat bar.
Wrapped in Honda coming in with $500 more this evening.
Miss Jeannie Wong at $100, $500 from Mel Wrapped in Honda. Folks, the generosity tonight is unbelievable. We've had so many community supporters making a huge difference.
And this is absolutely what it takes. It takes the community to get involved and to be able to support those in need and support those that are trying to help others.
Folks, I genuinely thank you so very much for your support. You are helping Sacramento Family Justice Center in a huge way tonight. I'm wondering who else wants to come in, folks.
We're gonna have to get you a Gatorade towel
folks,
here soon.
We're at 100. Folks, we're over $111,000. Tommy Trejo, wow, this is fantastic. Dr. Lisa Cardozo with Sac State, yay, Jeannie, stingers up. Joyce, Tom Johnson, thank you. Jody Nelson, Jeannie, thank you. Faith Whitmore, Pat and Sherry, thank you. Folks, so much love coming in. Yes, we've got $500 from Laura Stan. Laura, thank you very much. We've got $250 from Phil Garcia, $500 from Glenna Sanson, $250 from Mike McKimmon. I can't keep up. Wow.
Like I said, the Gatorade towel. Let me just go get that right now.
Wow. Folks, thank you so very much for your generosity. We've got $100 from Mary and John McCormack. Thank you. Folks, in the chat bar, Jan Scully Royce, Ryan and Candace, OMG, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you. I can't keep up with all this generosity. I love you all. From our board of director, Jan Scully Royce. Danielle, yes, this is amazing, fantastic news. Thank you, Ernest, for inviting me tonight. I'm so happy to be here and support. We are so inspired. Julie and Michael Teal, thank you, Laura. Jody Nelson, thank you, Phil. Faith Whitmore, oh my gosh, you all, exclamation marks. Faith has got the exclamation marks. $100, folks. We are at $112,000. You're making a huge difference. Folks, we're going to keep it going here for about 90 more seconds. I'm wondering if there's anybody else tonight that wants to come in and make a huge difference. We're going to give it 90 seconds, and then we're going to go into our amazing awards this evening, folks. I'm wondering who else wants to come in. Let's go one final push, folks. Here's what I'm going to share with you. We've got over 200 people watching right now with us. I think it's closer to 250. Leslie, thank you for your gift. Folks, we've got over 250 with us right now. If everybody right now gave at any level, a generous level, even if you've already given, if everybody right now gave $100, even if you've already given, if everybody gave $100 right now, that would be over $10,000 collectively. I think it would be on our way to 20 or 25,000. So I'm wondering if anybody wants to come in. Folks, together, we could fundraise over $20,000 if we all went in at $100, and I'm going to start us off. So folks, I'm wondering who wants to come in. We can work on clearing $120,000. Here we go, folks. Yes, we've got gifts coming in. Katie, yes. Katie and Joseph Hunter, yes, Katie. Yes, Catherine Whaley at 100. Becca and Chris Whitman at 100. Yes, 100's coming in. 100 anonymous. Yes, another 100, another 100, another 100. Yes, yes. Here we go, folks. We can clear 20,000 together right now. 100 Estelle Salzman, 100 Faith Whitmore, 100 Kevin Smith. Faith Whitmore coming in at 100, folks. Here we go. 1,000, Robert Nelson, again with Sac State. Thank you very much, Robert Nelson, Robert and Josie. Here we go. Hundreds, folks. Here we go. Even if you are, yes, yes, yes. Jan Scully at 100. Zachary Yates at 100. Kelly Swade at 100. Folks, Dorothy Love at 100. Yes, 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 yes. Folks, we're at 114. Yes, Chief Ronald Lawrence at 100. Already gave again. Robert Carter at 500. Yes, folks, we're on our way to clearing 20,000. We're at 115,000. Even if you've already given just $100 together tonight. That's what tonight's about. It's about coming together with hope, folks. I'm wondering who wants, yes, in the chat bar, Robin Carter at 500. Dorothy Love, I said I'll give 100 in the chat bar. Joyce Ballou at 100. Yes, another 100. Anonymous, another, yes, 100. Yes, in the chat bar. Yes, another 100. Blaine, Scully, Katie, come here. Katie, come here. Blaine.
Oh my God, of course he's going to support. This is amazing. Everyone is doing such a great job. Look at all the names. And you know what? I sent mine a few minutes ago and it took a little while for it to cycle through. So I know that even when we have to move on to the next thing, that we're gonna keep adding that up. It's gonna keep compiling and this is gonna be an amazing night.
Yes, folks, let's keep the hundreds coming in. And as the hundreds keep coming in, there is so much hope pouring in. Another 100 from Andrea Winchester, another 100 from Anonymous. Folks, let's keep the hundreds coming in together. We'll revisit all of our hundreds here just shortly. Anne Marie.
There we go.
Yes. Yes, Katie.
I'm very excited, but I can't get, like, you're really,
We've got hundreds coming in, Katie. Folks, as we celebrate tonight, let's keep the $100 coming in. We've got 250s in the chat, 100s, another 100 from Nancy. I saw your donation earlier, Nancy. Thank you. Another 100 from Steve Caruso. Folks, we got to get into our awards, but the hundreds keep coming in. Yes.
Actually, you have it until the 23rd, correct?
Yes.
The 23rd.
Ernest coming in at 250. This is amazing. We've cleared 116. We're on our way to 120,000. So folks, I'm wondering if you want to come in at $100, let's keep them coming. We'll revisit shortly. But Katie, if you would, without further ado, introduce to our next awards.
Well, okay, the great thing about the next award is this is someone...
Sorry, I kind of threw you a strike.
It's okay. It's all right. We're just going to roll with this.
It was so exciting.
The great thing about this next award is it's someone that I work very, very closely with. She has done an amazing job. And without further ado, this is going to be all about Jody Nelson and her husband, Robert.
It is our great honor this year to recognize Jody and Robert Nelson as the recipients of our award for community service, for being such outstanding people in our community. We're filming here this morning at Sacramento State University, and Robert Nelson has done so much in the 5 years that he's been president here. He has helped students graduate on time. He has helped reduce the debt. You can see him all over campus with his stingers up. He is at the athletic games. He's meeting with the professors. He's building new buildings. He has transformed this place in the 5 years he's been here. So Robert, on behalf of all of us, thank you for what you've been doing in our community. And Jody Nelson has been also such a pillar of generosity and compassion and strength. She had a very successful professional life before moving to California, down there in Texas. But when she came here, she decided that she wanted to spend her time contributing to nonprofits. And so she has done an amazing job being on our board of directors, giving so much of her time and expertise to our financial endeavors and making sure that we do everything just right in that regard. So we are so grateful. We are so honored that Jody and Robert Nelson and Sac State have given so much to the Family Justice Center to strengthen the work that we do. So Robert and Jody, thank you from all of us for who you are and what you do.
When we moved to Sac State about 5 years ago, I was looking for a nonprofit organization to be involved with. I've always been on nonprofit boards and very passionate about the work that the boards do.
Jody found a nonprofit home at the Family Justice Center.
So I did a little research and learned about the Family Justice Center and how it's connected to Sacramento State, and I knew that it was the right one for me.
And as the Nelsons' connection with the Family Justice Center has grown, they've seen hundreds helped and the wide range of people who need help.
No one is immune from domestic violence. It happens everywhere. It happens at universities, it happens at local homes, it just happens. So we've got to be there for everyone.
When I learned about what it takes to get a restraining order, and what if they need housing, what if they need clothing or food, all the things that someone might need when they're in crisis, if you sent a woman or a man all over town to try and get all of this, it would just be overwhelming. And by helping them in one place, then they're more likely to be able to follow through and really get the help that they need for themselves and their family.
Of special interest, a program for the youngest victims of domestic violence.
One of the other things that I love about the Family Justice Center is Camp Hope, which is a camp for children who have experienced family violence. And our board of directors, President Jan Scully always says that a family free of violence is a community free of violence. And so breaking that cycle of violence and starting with the children and them learning what a safe environment can be like and how to work out issues and problems and emotions between each other without violence is incredibly important. I think it's one of the most important things that we do at the Family Justice Center.
I hope you get a shot of, what's the name of the dog?
Oh, Buddy. Yeah, our therapy dog.
Buddy is a constant presence of comfort for kids and adults.
You have to get a shot of Buddy because he's there for the kids.
During the pandemic, the Nelsons say they are proudest that the Family Justice Center has remained a constant presence of support, a reliable resource, just as the need for that resource is rising.
So while everything else went tella, whatever tella means, okay, they stayed. They stayed to fight. They stayed to help. And so face to face, they met with people. And you need that personal connection. And they provided.
And the growth of the Family Justice Center to meet that need is a source of pride for Sacramento and the Nelsons.
When I started on the board, we didn't have a place, we didn't have an executive director, and so it really was the infancy, and it was very, very fulfilling to be involved in a startup nonprofit.
It gives our students a great opportunity for internships and for being involved, but more importantly, Sac State is about helping the community, and what better way to help the community. So I'm proud of Jody.
Thank you so much, Faith, for those very kind words. Robert and I are humbled and thrilled to be receiving this award from the Family Justice Center. When I came to Sacramento State, I wanted to be involved in the community, and the Family Justice Center has been an incredible place for me to serve on the board. You know, I wanted to be a part of an organization with heart and one that really makes a big difference in people's lives day to day. And let me tell you, the staff of the Family Justice Center help victims of family violence every single day, and they do it with compassion and heart. So the Family Justice Center was the perfect place for me to serve.
It's been an amazing trip here at Sac State. It's been amazing to have the opportunity to make partners in the community. The Family Justice Center is one of our deepest and most important partners that we have. We seek to be an anchor institution to make a difference in the community. This is a way to make a difference. I encourage everyone to support the Family Justice Center, to be part of what's happening, to make a difference. That's what Sac State wants to do, and that's what all of us want to do, especially during these troubled times.
And so, from us to the Family Justice Center, a huge thank you for all of your incredible hard work on behalf of victims of family violence. And as always,
stingers up!
Jody and Robert Nelson with Sacramento State. Whoop, whoop! Stingers up! That was perfect. Folks, thank you. We see all of the love. Look at the love in the YouTube chat bar. Let's throw the chat bar up here. Katie, check this out.
I know. It's been going on all night. This is something that is so amazing for them to be honored in this way. So deserving. They have been so impactful to this nonprofit. And Jody has been there from the absolute very beginning, from the moment I came on. And she works her butt off. Let me tell you about it.
Jody and Robert, thank you for all that you do for our entire region. You make a huge difference. Sacramento State, thank you. Jody and Robert Nelson. We see all of the love. Look at this love. Sherry Meyer.
Oh, Jody, we see you. She's loving it. You deserve it. Yes.
Joyce, Danielle, Laura, Erica, Jody Nelson. Thank you, everyone. We are so blessed to be in this incredible community.
Absolutely.
Well, Katie, who's next?
All right. Well, the most important thing about this is somebody that, to me, was really an ingenious idea on how, as a company, they could make a huge impact and try and change some lives. Let's hear a little bit more about our partner, Rayleigh's.
We are so pleased to honor Rayleigh's with this year's Community Partner Award. Rayleigh's has been a mainstay in our community for nearly a century and a true leader. Their commitment to making our community a safer place is unparalleled. As many of you know, Rayleigh's owners Mike and Julie Teal have been intimately involved with the Family Justice Center since its inception. I cannot think of a family or business who have dedicated themselves so passionately as Julie, Mike, Keith, and the entire Rayleigh team has to combat domestic violence. When domestic violence began to spike during the pandemic, Rayleigh's was the one to step up. Their leadership led to the idea of distributing domestic violence resources in grocery bags. Over 472,000 people in our community received those resources. I can say with confidence, this collaboration saved lives. Our work to combat domestic violence requires the public and private agencies, businesses, law enforcement, health systems, and others working together. We hope this will serve as a model for other regional business leaders because a family free of violence is a community free of violence. On behalf of the victims we serve and our Sacramento community, thank you, Rayleigh's, for your commitment to this very important work. Congratulations.
Rayleigh's is part of the fabric of Sacramento and California. We find food for our families there, see our neighbors, and because of this unique partnership with the Family Justice Center, each store is also a place of hope.
They were fantastic. Let me just start with that. They said, what can we do? How can we help? And then the conversation ensued, and we came up with these ideas.
These flyers and posters list resources from the Family Justice Center and urge those who need help to reach out.
We come in contact with so many in the community every week. That has given us an opportunity to distribute the message throughout various points in the store, including the restrooms and in bag stuffers. So nearly 500,000 points of communication, points of sharing the information have occurred so far. And I suspect that number will grow, in the coming weeks and months. And we're grateful to help get that message out there and to help put people in contact with the experts who can help them work through it.
So having these resources in the grocery stores says to people, we see you. We know that there's an issue and we want to help. And this is one way we can do it, is by giving the resources and the information. So it's just been an incredible partnership, and we couldn't be more grateful. And they continue to do this. So they are reaching, hundreds of thousands of people.
You'll see evidence of messaging throughout the store, in private parts of the store, and in bag stuffers where we share that message discreetly in every customer's bag. And you never know who needs these resources.
We have had numerous people come in and say, I got the flyer, I saw the flyer, or my mom gave this to me. So we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that these flyers that they put in the grocery bags, you can also often see them on the counters, have made a tremendous difference. And it's the ripple effect. We don't know how far those flyers go, how far that information is passed on. And so with the numbers that they are distributing, they are reaching, I think, a tremendous part of the population.
And with a workforce of over 12,000 employees, Rayleigh's is mindful that some of their own may need help from the Family Justice Center.
We're grateful for all the people who do the incredible work over at the center. It can't be easy. And you know, the depth of their caring, their compassion and their empathy and their skill is really something to be admired, and it's an inspiration to me, and I think to all who come to understand it. So I just say thank you for all that you do.
Taking it to the scale that they have is something we certainly could not have done by ourselves. So having them step up, see the value of the work that we do, to help people understand that this is an issue, that domestic violence and elder abuse and human trafficking, that impacts the whole community.
With Raley's, the good never stops. And the company's commitment to the Family Justice Center only deepens the connection to the community.
If children aren't safe, if family members aren't safe, then everything else stops mattering. And if we can do something, we have a ethical and moral imperative to do so, as a business, as individuals, as leaders, and as members of the community.
And we hope that others will see this and step up in the same way. Raley's is one fantastic business in our community, and there are others, and I think they would, you know, in doing this, invite others to be part of the solution as well.
All the awards mean something, but this one, when you think about the impact on people who just need safety, you know, and the dignity that comes with, you know, feeling safe, and the hope that all of us need, but people who are in dangerous situations, who find themselves in unfamiliar circumstances, who need the resources to figure it out and to get away from that danger, and then to figure out what's next. And we're just glad to be able to do our part.
It is such an honor to be here today to accept on behalf of Raley's the Community Partnership Award from the Regional Family Justice Center. This award just goes right to my heart because so many people are involved. I think I should start by saying that we would not be able to have partnered with the Regional Family Justice Center if it wasn't for my husband, his support, and the support of our leadership team, starting with Keith Knopf. He was the one that, when we got the call from the district attorney saying, you know, COVID is happening and we're concerned about people not having resources or access, Keith, over the weekend, had his team jump on this, and they said, we can get this done. So there was no hesitation, and I believe that that's because we all know that a community that has less domestic violence is a much better community for everyone. Children going to school, teachers, all of our heroes that are on the front lines and first responders, everyone is affected by this. For us, as a company with over 12,000 employees throughout Northern California and Nevada, we know that domestic violence needs to stop. It won't be ending, but if we can have an impact in any way, shape, or form, for every one person that is saved or can leave a domestic violent environment, and or, as we've seen, the sex trafficking issues and elder abuse, if we impact anyone, we feel like we would have made a difference, and all of it would have been worthwhile. I look at the leadership at the Regional Family Justice Center with Faith and her team, and I am just thankful and feel blessed each and every day that people, when they come into that building at the courthouse, are able to be greeted by a loving pet that's there. We have Buddy. And just the team that's there, and so many of them, they have personal stories that share, and they have the empathy. But the collaborations that go on between law enforcement and CPS for Child Protective Services, where parents don't have to fear anymore if they come forward, their children be taken away from them. We work together collaboratively with every single agency out there to make sure that we're looking at the person, and these are people, and how do we meet them where they are? How do we take them further and help them have a non-return to a violent environment of any kind, whether it's elder abuse or in a domestic violence situation? This community means the world to our family. We are called the Raley's family, or Fine Family of Stores, because family is really important. and every family should have a chance. People end up in situations they never dreamt of, and for a variety of reasons, and by no fault of their own, and sometimes by mistakes that we've all made in poor choices. But that doesn't mean they don't have a chance or shouldn't deserve a chance to be encouraged, to feel like there's hope. And I know that through the resource flyers that we've seen in our stores, I've had a courtesy clerk that looked at when I was talking to her as I was checking out, and she didn't know me, and I just said, wow, this is great. And she said, I think it makes people know that we care and someone is there for them. And I thought, now that right there was worth it. And here is a courtesy clerk who felt empowered that she was helping maybe save someone else's life. So when I look at those types of things that we do as a company, I know that our hearts are in the right place. And again, I think that Keith also reiterated that receiving awards is very nice, and we're very appreciative and flattered by it. We do it because we want to support the causes that we feel will make a tremendous impact, and the Regional Family Justice Center makes that impact.
Rayleighs, Mike, Julie, Keith, wow. Wow. Folks, the love in the YouTube chat bar has been unbelievable for Rayleighs.
I have to read this because it's so important from Faith, and you can't do it without supporters like Rayleighs and the Nelsons. Faith, 5 years ago, the Sacramento Regional Family Justice Center was just a dream. We've now served nearly 10,000 new and returning clients. It gives me chills. That's what this is all about. Rayleighs, the Nelsons, everyone that has supported tonight, that is what you're doing. It's amazing.
Folks, your love tonight for Sacramento Family Justice Center has been absolutely amazing. Folks, we want to give another huge love in the YouTube chat bar for Jody and Robert Nelson and Sacramento State. A huge love for Mike, Julie, Keith, and the entire Rayleighs team, Rayleighs, Bel Air, and Nob Hill. Thank you. So folks, we're so close. I was talking to Katie.
All right.
We are so
Get
close.
on the starting blocks here.
We're so close. we were talking about doing push-ups. Folks, we are so close to $125,000. Let's pull up our funding need, folks. Let's see if we'll give it one final push here live right now. We'll see if we can clear $125,000 for Sacramento Family Justice Center. If you want to come in, folks, I think it's only like $2,300, 100s. And we'll clear $25,000. Actually, it's 26. I think it's 26.
Math is not a strong point. You know what? Just to be on the safe side, let's do 27.
Let's try 30. Let's just round it up to 30. Folks, if you want to come into our fund to need, we've got one final push here. If you haven't been able to give tonight, now's your chance. If you want to go to SACRFJC, 4432.ggo.bid. We're at $123,500. We had another $500 gift from Carl Kelly, $100 from Terry Galvin, $200 from Patty Whitmore, $100 from Aja, $100 from Anthony Leonetti, $500 from Jane Zerby, $60 from Nilda, 50. Thank you. 50 from Bob. Folks, if you want to come into our fund and need, we'll give it one final push. It's on that link below. We're almost. Yep, I got another $100. Another $100. Yes, another 100. Folks, we're almost to 124. Yes, so much love in the chat bar, folks. It has been an amazing night. Thank you so very much for all of your generosity. We truly appreciate it. And folks, again, we want to thank all of our sponsors tonight. I want to make sure I don't miss any of our sponsors. Folks, we want to thank at $25,000, making a huge difference, Motel 6, our local ownership with Harshad, Yogi, Mike, Henry, and Rinkesh. At $25,000, Pacific Coast Building Products, longtime supporters of Sacramento Family Justice Center. Whew, there's a lot. At $10,000, and that's the thing, folks. There's so many supporters tonight, and we want to thank you tonight. $10,000, California State University Office of the President, Sacramento County District Attorney, Sacramento County Supervisor Susan Peters, $5,000 with Buzz Oates, Dignity Health, Honorable Marjorie and Paul Durenberger, Kevin Nagel, Jan Scully Royce, and Brian Royce. I know I'm reading the list, folks, but there's a ton. I can't keep up. Sacramento County Sheriff Margie and Roger Valine, and all of our sponsors tonight. Thank you. Yes, Kevin Nagel. Yes.
There you go, Kevin Nagel.
Kevin Nagel, thank you.
Over the top.
Thank you very much, Kevin. At $2,500, we cleared $125,000. Kevin, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, and it's good to see you. Folks, Jeannie Reeves at 200, Danielle Rowe at 100. Folks, hundreds coming in. We've cleared $125,000.
And what's so important is that you have until Monday the 23rd at 5 o'clock. You can continue to make donations. For those of you who have done it tonight, we thank you so much. Tell your friends about them. Tell them how to do it. Tell them about all the good that it will do in our community.
Folks, Sacramento Family Justice Center, we've got a lot of love in the YouTube chat bar for Faith, the entire staff, our sponsors, our board of directors. Thank you to you. There's over 250 of us watching tonight, which means there's probably 300 or 400 because there's multiples. You all joined us tonight because you know the impact that Sacramento Family Justice Center is making. Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
And for everyone behind the scenes that you cannot see right now at home, a good job for putting this together.
Folks,
truly.
Have a wonderful evening. Feel so good about yourselves because you made a huge difference. We've even have folks behind the scenes here that are crying because of your generosity tonight. Thank you so very much and have a wonderful evening.